The Bell Witch haunting, one of the most famous ghost stories in American folklore, took place in Adams, Tennessee in the early 19th century. The story centers around the Bell family, headed by John Bell, who moved to the area in 1804. For many years, they lived peacefully on their farmland until, in 1817, strange phenomena began to unfold, marking the start of what would become one of the most terrifying hauntings in American history. It began with sightings of strange animals on their property, including a mysterious creature resembling a large black dog. Soon after, the family started hearing strange noises, knocking sounds on the walls, chains dragging across floors, and eerie whispers. The noises intensified, and before long, John Bell's children were subjected to violent attacks. Betsy Bell, his young daughter, was especially targeted. She experienced slaps, pinches, and hair pulling from an unseen force. The Bell family came to believe they were haunted by an entity they called Kate, later known as the Bell Witch. This spirit had a malevolent attitude toward John Bell in particular, openly declaring it had a personal vendetta against him. As weeks turned into months, the haunting became more intense. Kate's voice grew louder and more articulate, reportedly mocking the family, predicting future events, and even reciting sermons from distant churches. Word of the Bell Witch haunting spread beyond Adams, drawing the attention of people far and wide, including a young Andrew Jackson, who would later become the President of the United States. Jackson, intrigued by the stories, decided to visit the Bell farm with some of his men to investigate. However, as the story goes, their horses were halted by an invisible force, and Jackson reportedly remarked, "I'd rather face the entire British army than the Bell Witch." Shaken, he and his men left the farm without ever setting foot in the house. The haunting continued for several years, and it grew increasingly hostile toward John Bell. In 1820, he became gravely ill, reportedly suffering from facial twitches, seizures, and a severe weakening of his body. On December 20th, 1820, John Bell died, and the family found a strange vial near his body. According to family lore, Kate claimed she had given him a deadly poison. Even after his death, the witch's voice could be heard laughing in victory. The haunting finally began to subside after John Bell's death, but the Bell Witch promised to return in 7 years. True to its word, it allegedly returned to the family in 1828, albeit with less intensity, before disappearing once more. To this day, the story of the Bell Witch endures, and the legend of a malevolent spirit haunting the Bell family has become one of the most chilling tales in American folklore. The site of the Bell farm remains a place of interest for ghost hunters and historians, and many claim the Bell Witch's spirit lingers in the area still.